Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody's doing good. And this podcast is just to boost yourself. Uh, I so many times have joked that YouTube motivation works very short, but I'm right here delivering something like that for you right now. Since the exams are in a couple of weeks, we always would want to hear something positive. It's not something about what we are doing or not doing, but when somebody tells us certain things or experiences of what they had, it's always kind of good to listen. So, this podcast is exclusively for you to chill out, and I'm going to talk a few things about how you normally let go of certain things and how you want to keep certain things in your mind. How did I do certain things when I had the exams? So that's all that podcast is all about. I just want to share a few experiences, and I request all of you to listen to this in the break time of yours. And if you like it, do send it across to your friends, share it so that they also feel a little relieved about how the last couple of weeks are. It's all boiled down to that, and this is not just again for anybody writing the exams in the next couple of weeks. This could be heard by anybody at any time. I'm going to keep that general, but I'm going to majorly focus on the kind of tensions and the pressures that we feel when we are up for any big event that's coming up. In this case, it's likely the exams. So if you are a CA final student, if you are a CA inter student, or if you are any other student who's having any exam close by, think all of us have that one tension that fundamentally occupies a lot of space in our head, is that will I be able to clear this exam? Now syllabuses are not done, sometimes the way we plan our revisions, those are not done. So I just want to give you an insight that that is the state of almost everybody. So you are not the only one, kind of going through that. And every student, no matter how good they are in their preparation, no matter how hard we try, we always have some, unfulfilled aspects at the end of the day. And that is how it has to be. That's what I believe in, because if you are so perfect, like an AI or a robot today, I don't think that makes you a human, and you will somehow not even have a good feel about it. So if you've planned 100 for a day and you're able to reach 90, I think you should acknowledge that fact, give yourself a shout out, and feel happy, and not concentrate on the 10% that you are not able to do. Because in these kind of, like the last crucial periods, generally that's what people think about. The 90% that you achieved would look small, and you're over tensed on the 10% that you didn't. So I just want to let you know how I handled the last few days of any of my exams. Now that is a horrific drive through my memory lane, but I would like to just share it because I just thought it can put a perspective in your mind too. So in fact, if some of you are really worried about revisions kicking off right in the last 2 weeks, my whole damn preparation went well only in the last 2 weeks. So I don't think everybody's resorting to their own techniques of doing things. Many of you might have taken things down from a YouTube lecture, or from a friend, or when somebody told you. And if this last 2 weeks is being planned by you, or if you already have a plan for it by somebody else, I suggest through this podcast that you quickly drop it. So that's not to discourage you, but all I want you to do is to tear it apart, start something afresh, and go with it. Because I'm really not sure if this whole like a small talk can change your mind or not, but definitely if you can prepare a new 2 week schedule by yourself, first your confidence levels will double up, or it will take a deep hit. Because when you start planning, you will really know where you stand, and that is something that belongs to you. If you have already been scheduling all your studies, you do really know where you are. And if tension is mounted up, don't worry, that is the obvious result of that entire exercise that you did. And if you're still unhappy with something, we can always sort out. I believe even the day before the exam, that is only 24 hours are there for my exam, and I still believe I can change a whole lot of things. Now that is just a belief. I do understand that, because even if you strongly believe that, for it to practically happen, it's just next to impossible sometimes. But I think we are all students of a course which teaches us how to behave with strong will, the gut, and also an attitude of never give up. And though I've joked about those kind of things in the past, I think this is a time where you should not give up on your own self or your plans. Picking inspirations right now from someone else would be a challenging thing. I would not suggest you to do that. And because right now what happens is you only focus on what you should be doing, because when you start focusing on some others gameplay, most times we try to kind of fit in certain things, that if this is a great strategy, that's a great working strategy. YouTube suggested me that I can finish this in 4 days, 5 days. I generally fail to understand what's the definition of 4 days or 5 days, or what is the definition of a day. For me, a day is 20 hours. For somebody else, a day can be only 8 hours. For somebody, active day can be about 14 hours. So, if somebody says that they can finish it in 4 days, like, is it four of what days? Normal 24-hour days or four of work days? So, all these fancy taglines or all the striking thumbnails that you see might be good, and of course, it's also one of the reasons why many people get influenced into that. But when you really, maybe that has a real thing to do with, but following it becomes really tough because it didn't really come from your mind. So the first thing that I suggest right now is to leave tension aside. Make shorter plans. That's what makes sense. You have a broad 2.5 week strategy, whatever you need for the exam. Plus, break it down to daily targets. Have shorter plans. Like, you might spend 1 hour. All it takes is that much only. I think investing 1 hour. I won't call it wasting 1 hour, because many people think, instead of wasting 1 hour on drawing up plans, if I put it on some topic, if you put it on some topic, and what if it doesn't come in the exam at all? So sometimes it's like, it's very proper to think that you invest certain amount of time on scaling up your level of preparation and not just fall in the flow of preparation. So have shorter plans. That's the best thing to do right now. What is my whole plan for the next 2 weeks? In those, a clear breakup of what will I be doing in all 14 days, and then on a daily basis, start ticking when you achieve those targets, and start celebrating those small winning moments. Like, if you study hard for 1 hour, take a 10-minute break. Obviously, like, much of us, in the name of break, have all we do is to scroll Instagram or run through the shorts on YouTube. If you're doing that, um I mean, like, in today's time, you might still be listening to this on YouTube and Instagram, so I can't stop you from that. But all I'm saying is, like, you should know where to press the stop button as well, right? Because everything right now boils down to that mind game. So winning daily is important in this last time, and I used to always do that. What I used to do is pick up a notebook, write down a 14 or a 15-day plan clearly, because I now know where I stand, whether I have the entire syllabus in front of me, or 40% left, 50% left, or whatever is left in front of me. I'd want to first clearly write it down so that I get an idea of where I stand, and then what will I be doing in the next 14 days on a daily basis. I will break it down so meticulously, in the sense, like, uh, you know what will I do in the first half of the day, second half of the day, third. I was like, always somebody who studies in the night, and as I'm recording this also very late in the night, but by the time you listen to this, it will be a proper daytime. So, or whenever you listen to this, so it depends. Like, I always do things when my mind is cool. To be very honest, it's right now, when I speak these lines, this is about 2:13 midnight, but I feel very comfortable doing this right now, because it's a serene environment, right? Again, in the morning, we have daily chores to run. Like, I'm not saying I'm not somebody who likes the morning. Sometimes all my classes start very early in the morning, so it's a different time. But sometimes, we need peace in our mind to run through. So anything which gives you that peace, you can pick up that slot to always relax. Let your mind have free flow of thoughts. If you are getting a thought that I may fail in the exam, let that thought also pass through your head, because you should always know, uh, the negative is. See, I used to run away from that thought for quite some time. What if I fail? What if I fail? And I realized that I was doing a mistake by running away from that. So I let it pass through from my mind once. Like, say for example, I did decide that okay, what if I fail? Let me think through this. So what if I fail? You will have all the answers. If you fail this, first you will, kind of think about whom to answer about it. And then if you are answerable to somebody, we'll find what answers we are supposed to give. Then we'll run through our mind as to what will be the next thing. Will I be writing the next attempt? Or I'm already writing so many attempts that I won't have a chance to write next one. Whatever it be the outcome, I think different people listening to this are in different situations. So I think you will be a better judge of that answer, and let that answer come, let that answer pass through. And as I said, this is a model that works through, because your brain right now goes through so many thoughts. Like, I've been talking continuously for about 11 minutes now, and I have told you so many things. If you really had the patience to listen, and that too in these times of shorts and reels, if you have heard me from the beginning till now, I've told so many things that happen across your mind. And I can bet on this that many of you who are honestly been preparing for the last 2.5, 3 months, you have experienced all this roller coaster ride. So don't worry about the results. That's what I'm saying. Because when you are in the process of doing something, if you are worrying about results, like what if I fail, what if I pass, thinking through that will be a simple solution. I think just think through that, sit separately somewhere. What if I fail? Like, just get the answers to that entire approach. You know what the answer is, and then put it into rest in peace. And then what if I pass? Also think through that, and put that also aside. I think you should keep that as the dominating part. So keep thinking that if you pass, what is the next set of things that you are going to do, and just keep on thinking will not take you further. I've told you this so many times. Like, no matter how much people talk about visualization, no matter how much people talk about strong positive feeling, will, all that, I mean, I do understand all that, and it does really make sense. It sometimes works, all that is fine. But you can't simply visualize for 2 weeks and then just pass the exam. You have to put your effort and then do that, right? So you do all of that stuff. Take proper breaks. I don't want to keep talking long. I just always had a preference for break. Break was my motivator, actually. In the sense, if I honestly work hard for 1 hour, my 15 minutes that I get for break is the real game changer for me. Because in that 15 minutes, I'll just get up from the place where I'm sitting. Yeah, thankfully back then, I had a Nokia phone with nothing else to do in that. So I definitely not go to my phone. Today's kids, definitely in the name of break, they're going to pick up the phone, play a game, maybe scroll Instagram. I'm not saying you should not do that, but if you can control your mind, you can do that. Otherwise, maybe like pick up, play a game, just refresh yourself and get back. But are you really having that courage to pick up a phone and put it back exactly in 10 minutes time? No, that I'm not sure, because the algorithm plays with your mind. Just be careful with that. Because back then, no, I'm talking about, like, say, the time when I used to actively study, like say 15 years ago. Or that time was a time when people used to tell you got to watch movies before exams to clear the exam tension. Just go to a movie. uh, Back then, going to a movie was a big exercise. So like the effort that we take to go to the movie and come back, that clears a lot of things. And then it gives you a fresh new target, because you get a feeling that you wasted a lot of time in going to the movie, watching it and coming back. And then actually that like it pumps in your adrenaline to do things more faster. So I never realized that whether the movie did something good to me or not, but always when we did or followed that technique of going to movie, it always gave me a feeling that okay, now I'm 4 hours behind. So what do? I speed up. Then we make different plans. When what normally takes 8 hours, we try to execute it in 4 hours. Our brain starts thinking of novel methods of doing things faster. And there are multiple things that that go on in the head. So keeping it calm is, I can't just obviously sit here and say try to keep it calm. It's not gonna be calm. It will be with so many thoughts. But which thought needs priority is something that you should know. We will think about everything, like I said, positive, negative, but only at the time that we allot it for thinking. Otherwise, you should just get going. I try and do this segment often. I'll come and just talk like this for like kind of keep in a limit of 15 minutes. I'll talk through something. I'll share a lot more experiences. This, even if there is no value addition by listening to these 15 minutes, this would just have gotten out you from whatever you're doing. And I believe that it kind of adds some sense. You really sometimes want somebody to tell you things that you already know. Maybe you can consider this podcast to be something like that. Just speaking out, cling on there, hang on. It is tough. If you have come this far, it's going to get tougher only. So keep your minds open to whatever that toughness is, and I guess everything will go well. So pick up your papers, make a 2 week plan, then make a shorter daily plan, and then start flicking it out. And then just wait for my next podcast. We'll come back and talk soon, guys. So I hope everybody will use this to fuel yourself right now, and then just go chase targets. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Signing off. Bye bye. It's Harish Krishnan.